What is going on, everybody? Zyonik here, and in today's video we're going to take a look at the best Pokemon for Great League so you guys can compete and win battles in Go Battle League. Now, if you guys are a veteran of PvP, you guys know about these top ranked Pokemon, so what I ask that you do is firstly smash that like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and be sure to share this video with your friends, with your community, so that everyone can have a great experience when it comes to the Go Battle League. Now, if you guys are new to PvP, new to my channel, welcome. I'm Zyonik, a PvP content creator. I absolutely just love PvP. That is what this whole channel is about, so be sure to hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on all the latest Pokemon Go PvP content. Now, this list is just the best of the best. If you guys have been competing in the Silpharina this last year, you guys understand there is no such thing as a bad PvP Pokemon in the Great League. All it needs is a right Silpharina tournament to perform well. But if you're new to PvP, these 10 Pokemon that I'm going to suggest to you are like the best of the best, but there are so many other fantastic Pokemon out there. Be sure to head over to pvpoke.com, check out the rankings, check out the matchups. But even a Pokemon that's maybe like rank 150, maybe a Pokemon named like Fortress, is fantastic still for Pokemon Go PvP because it can still do the job of like walling grass type Pokemon, landing an Earthquake against a Lantern, things like that. So this list is just a very condensed top best of the best, but that doesn't mean that there's not a lot of other great options out there. So if you are finding Pokemon that are performing really well for you, be sure to comment down below. Let's go ahead and get right into the video. Alright, coming in at number 10, we have Hitmontop. Now, Hitmontop has been relatively new to the scene, and we haven't really seen it used fully in Silpharina tournaments yet in the Great League. So if you are a veteran battler, this guy may not be as on your radar as he should be, and if you're brand new to PvP, this is all new, but Hitmontop is a fantastic fighter. We've seen it rise in the rankings, taking over Medicham, which has been the premier fighter for a long time. Hitmontop, because of the update to close combat, is doing fantastic, very high damage, low energy, but it does give you a debuff, which you can clear if you switch out of battle, so that's one way to go. And then Stone Edge, fantastic coverage against things that can beat him. As we see here, Pokemon like Togekiss, Lugia, Drifblim, Stone Edge is going to hit those Pokemon very, very hard. On top of that, Counter as a fast move is fantastic. If your Hitmontop has Rock Smash, you definitely want to TM that to Counter. So ideal moveset or best moveset, Counter, Close Combat, Stone Edge. You can basically take out all of those bulky tanks that we are going to see in the open Great League for Go Battle League. Alright, coming in at number 9 is a Pokemon that's not ranked as high on pvpoke.com, which is, if you guys are unfamiliar with the website that I'm on, it is called pvpoke.com, link down in the description. This is the #1 website for Pokemon Go PvP. Ask anyone in your community or people that you know that compete in the Silpharina or PvP a lot. pvpoke.com is our resource. It's our Bible for PvP. SABLEYE, not ranked as high in Open Great League, but you guys know how fantastic of a generalist SABLEYE is. Shadow Claw is going to be your fast move that you want over Feint Attack. It's going to do very high damage and energy gain. Foul Play is our bread and butter when it comes to our charge moves for fantastic coverage. And then from there, it's personal preference based on what you have on your team. Power Gem is typically the go-to, but with the update to Return, where it does way more damage for more energy, you could utilize that. Or you could go with Shadow Sneak, but you know, if you can only use Shadow Claw, Foul Play, and you don't want to unlock that second charge move just yet, you can get a long way with SABLEYE. Now, SABLEYE is like the premier anti-psychic counter, so the big ones we are going to see: DEOXYS, Hypno, and Medicham. On top of that, he's very good against the ghosts, so Pokemon like ALOLAN, MAROWAK, which all these guys are top tier meta. Now, you are going to be extremely weak to normal type Pokemon and Pokemon that have that charm, so watch out for that. But SABLEYE, again, huge dust investment because it does need to be level 40, so you want to try to aim for 100% IV, and then ideal moveset Shadow Claw and Foul Play, and then one of these three. You definitely don't want Frustration, but one of these three will do well for you. Alright, next up we have Swampert. Swampert is arguably one of the best Pokemon in PvP in general in all 3 leagues. He is fantastic in Great League, Ultra League and Master League, and that is because of his Community Day move. That's very important, guys. The Hydro Cannon from Community Day is the most important thing basically on a Swampert, paired up with Mudshot as the fast move. Mudshot is a very spammy fast move that gives you a lot of energy very quickly. So if you faced off against Swamperts before and you're like, how are these guys getting off these charge moves over and over and over? That's because of Mudshot and Hydro Cannon. Hydro Cannon is very low energy cost and does a ton of damage. From there, we either want Earthquake or Sludge Wave. Now, I could see Muddy Water Spice in there for the debuff, but typically for coverage, Earthquake or Sludge Wave. Earthquake's really going to help out against those electric type Pokemon. Sludge Wave is going to help out against like the fairies or Pokemon like Tropius that are going to see the pure grass. So definitely look to get yourself a Swampert. Now, Swampert's going to be handling some of those meta Pokemon that we're going to see. Registeel and Alolan Marowak and Defense Form DEOXYS are some of the big ones that we're going to see, but you are 4 times weak to grass, so be careful of that, guys. Grass will absolutely destroy you. It doesn't matter what type of grass Pokemon it is, it's going to take you out very, very quickly, so you want to get out of there as fast as you can, or be sure to use those shields if a grass charge move is coming at you. Coming in at number 7 here, we have one of the king of the flyers, and that is SKARMORY. SKARMORY has been a bread and butter flyer in Great League Pokemon Go PvP for the last year, and if you are new to PvP, this is one of my biggest suggested Pokemon that you guys get a hold of. Air Slash Sky Attack is basically going to get you really, really far, and then if you happen to need Flash Cannon, maybe you're locked in against tanks, or maybe you're against some of those fairies, Flash Cannon's really going to help out there. But SKARMORY is absolutely amazing. He can farm down grass type Pokemon. He has fantastic resistances, and he's only weak to fire and electric type Pokemon, which pairs really well with Swampert, because Swampert can beat those Pokemon and is only weak to grass, and then SKARMORY can beat all those grass type Pokemon. So the big wins that we get: Tropius, Altaria, Dragonite, Venusaur, and Scrafty. Big losses, Pokemon like Lantern and the Alolan Gravelers, Golem, Magnezone, so electric type Pokemon basically, and fire type Pokemon as well. Again, suggested moveset, 100% go for Air Slash, Sky Attack, and Flash Cannon. Now, Steel Wing does have some play in a specific Silpharina tournament potentially down the line, but Air Slash is what you want as your fast move. Alright, coming in at number 6, we have Alolan Marowak, one of my personal favorite Pokemon. It's highly accessible. You guys can get it from those raids. And on top of that, he has a great kit, great stats. So Hex, Fire Spin are his recommended fast moves. Definitely do not go for Rock Smash, but ideally Fire Spin. It's going to give you better coverage on the meta while still giving you great energy per turn to get off Shadow Balls and Bone Clubs. Now, Shadow Ball is arguably his best move. Bone Club is fantastic for coverage and shield baiting. And then we do have some spice with Fire Blast if you're able to land it, but typically the moveset you want to run is Fire Spin, Shadow Ball, and Bone Club. Now, he is going to be fantastic at covering those fighters and psychics, I should say. On top of that, Tropius and Pokemon like SKARMORY, he's just going to cover a lot of Pokemon. Things you have to watch out for is basically all those water ground type Pokemon. So Pokemon like Swampert, Pokemon like Flygon, they're going to be doing a lot of damage with those spammy charge moves that they have access to. So be on the lookout for that. On top of that, one of his biggest weaknesses is an Altaria, so watch out for that as well. Coming in at number 5, we have Tropius, and Tropius is one of those controversial Pokemon where it's a regional Pokemon, but because it's been accessible through trades or through different Safari Zone events around the world, he is one of the premier grass type Pokemon. Arguably him and Venusaur are the best grass type attackers in the game right now. There's a lot of other great options like Meganium and Victory Bell, but Tropius brings a different kit. He has the ability to bulk down, meaning he has a lot of defensive stats, able to absorb a lot of charge moves. On top of that, you can run him in 2 different ways. Firstly is Razor Leaf. Razor Leaf is going to be a hard hitting grass move that doesn't charge a lot of energy. So basically you're relying to do all your damage with Razor Leaf and sometimes get off that charge move. The other variant is to run Air Slash, which is going to give you some nice like grass and fighting type coverage. On top of that, you'll be able to spam your charge moves. So Leaf Blade and Aerial Ace are going to be your go-to charge moves. Now, some of the Pokemon that you can pick up: Defense Form DEOXYS, Toxicroak, Primeape, Lucario, Scrafty, and then some of those grass as well. Now, because he is a grass flying, you do have to watch out for poison type moves from like a Venusaur, that Sludge Bomb. But if you're ahead on energy, Air Slash and Aerial Ace can really do a lot of work to a Venusaur. Now, you are going to be weak to a lot of those ice and steel, and the steel meaning that SKARMORY, he's going to absolutely wall a Tropius. On top of that, you need to look out for those ice type charge moves from Pokemon in the meta that we'll see, like AZUMARILL, and ALTARIA as well is going to do a lot of work. So those are what you have to look out for, but he is overall a fantastic Pokemon for Great League. Coming in at number 4, we have Defense Form DEOXYS. This is one of the most bulky Pokemon in the game with great coverage. It's a huge Stardust investment because you do have that 100,000 Stardust unlock cost for his second charge move, but it is well worth it down the line. The fast move you want to run with is going to be counter, 100% counter. He's going to be great at taking down tanks, taking down or fighting back against some of those dark type Pokemon. On top of that, he has a great kit in terms of his moveset: Psycho Boost, Rock Slide, Thunderbolt. Now, you can run it a couple different ways. Rock Slide is definitely what you want to have, and then you can choose between either Psycho Boost or Thunderbolt based on the coverage that you want. Some of his big losses are going to be Pokemon like Haunter, Pokemon like SABLEYE, and he picks up a lot of wins. He beats up a lot of the other fighters. He beats up a lot of the tanks. He beats up a lot of the flyers as well, so SKARMORY and ALTARIA. He's just a fantastic generalist, and if you've been fighting in the Go Battle League, you've likely ran into one of these and you understand how deadly it can be. If you can get your hands on one of these and just invest that dust, he's going to do really, really well for you. Alright, coming in at number 3, we have ALTARIA, arguably one of the best Pokemon ever in Great League. It has been rank 1 for the longest time. It's not rank 1 on my list because I think it can get locked down pretty easily and can't fight back against what it's weak against. But ALTARIA is just fantastic, and I know you guys have been running into ALTARIA, whether you've been a Pokemon Go PvP player for the last year or you're brand new. You've probably run into one of these, and it's arguably the best Pokemon because not only is it amazing in the meta, but it's also very, very cheap. It's got 10,000 Stardust to unlock the second charge move. So let's go ahead and talk about the moveset. We definitely want to have Dragon Breath as our fast move. Dragon Breath is where all its damage basically comes from. If your ALTARIA has a peck, be sure to TM that to Dragon Breath. As for the charge moves, Sky Attack is going to be the guaranteed charge move that you want to have. It's going to give you great coverage against the meta, picking up a lot of those fighters in grass. From there, you can choose between Dragon Pulse and Dazzling Gleam. Dragon Pulse is going to have that stab damage, meaning that same type attack bonus, and it's going to do a lot of damage, but Dazzling Gleam can give you some nice pickups against some of those dark type Pokemon that you may see, Pokemon like Umbreon, for example. Now, you are going to be extremely weak to Charm and Ice. So you need to watch out for those Charm type users like Wigglytuff and Clefable. On top of that, those Ice type moves, so an Ice Beam from an AZUMARILL or an Avalanche from a Frostlass, you need to watch out for that. But you do pick up a lot of Pokemon with Dragon Breath basically alone in Sky Attack. Tropius, ALOLAN, MAROWAK, Defense Form DEOXYS, you do need to watch out for those Rock Slides, but you can take him out. Scrafty and Charizard. Now there's a lot more wins that he has, but overall, fantastic Pokemon, arguably number 1 overall, and this is just my personal view. So let me know down in the comments if you guys think ALTARIA is number 1 in your books. But yeah, 100% if you are new to Go Battle League and you're basically watching these PvP videos for the first time, get yourself an ALTARIA, guys. It's cheap, it's available, and it's going to do fantastic for you. And then at number 2, we have something that we never expected to be good one day, and then overnight it became a god of PvP, REGISTEEL. If you guys thought that the Regis were really bad and you're coming into PvP and facing off against these guys and you're like, what happened? These guys were trash cans in 2018, 2017. It's because they got a new move called Lock On. Lock On is the highest energy charge move in the game, meaning you gain energy very, very quickly with Lock On. Add that to its massive bulk and then the great charge moves that it has, where lock-on allows you to get to these quickly. So flash cannon and focus blast, and you start to destroy the meta. REGISTEEL is just, yeah, it's a big dust investment. Again, 100,000 unlock, but once you have it, he is going to do absolutely amazing. He's going to be beating up on things like ALTARIA, TROPIUS, SKARMORY, and defense form DEOXYS. Those are all top 10 right there, but you are going to be very, very weak to that fighting and to that ground, so you need to watch out for that. So be sure to have protection for that. Now, coming in at number 1 on my list, the most recommended Pokemon for Pokemon Go PvP is going to be AZUMARILL. If you guys have been competing this last year in Silph Arena, or if you guys are fighting for the first time in Go Battle League, you have faced an AZUMARILL. I guarantee it. If you have done at least 15 battles in Go Battle League, you have likely faced an AZUMARILL. This thing is an absolute monster, and we'll talk about the best way to get an AZUMARILL so you can save Stardust at the end. But the recommended moveset I would suggest to you guys, Bubble as the fast move. Firstly, if it has Rock Smash, AZUMARILL is basically pretty much useless. You need that Bubble, guys. It's great damage and coverage. On top of that, it gives you a lot of energy, allowing you to get to its fantastic charge moves. The charge moves arguably are all interchangeable. You definitely want 2 of them, and you could go with Ice Beam and Play Rough, or you could go Ice Beam and Hydro Pump, or you could go Play Rough and Hydro Pump. It gives you fantastic coverage. I really like Ice Beam for the fact that I can fight back and protect myself against grass type Pokemon. On top of that, great coverage to Pokemon like Altaria. And then I really like Hydro Pump as well. Does a lot of great neutral damage. On top of that, it can handle some of those big tanks we're going to see in the meta, like a Bastiodon. If you guys want to see AZUMARILL in action, there's going to be a link coming up right now with my first 5 battles where I used an AZUMARILL to help me get some great wins in the Go Battle League. Play Rough is fantastic as well, don't get me wrong. All 3 of these charge moves are great, so with whatever combination you guys go with, you're going to be doing very well. Now you are going to be very weak to grass type Pokemon. On top of that, electric type Pokemon, and those poison type moves are going to get you as well, so you need to watch out for that. But you pick up a lot of fantastic wins: ALOLAN, MAROWAK, Altaria, defense form DEOXYS, Scrafty, Dragonite. These are all very fantastic Pokemon for the Great League, and AZUMARILL is arguably the best Pokemon in Open Great League because of its bulk, its coverage, and its ability to defend itself against its own weaknesses with those grass type Pokemon. Now, when it comes to powering up your own AZUMARILL, it's going to be a huge dust investment, but there's a little way around it to save you a lot of Stardust. Firstly, a lucky trade, and what you need to do is lucky trade a friend for an AZUMARILL, the baby type Pokemon, because baby Pokemon have a 10k unlock Stardust cost. If you try to unlock your second charge move when it's a Marill or a AZUMARILL, it's going to cost 50,000 Stardust. So right there, you're already saving 40,000 Stardust. On top of that, if you do the lucky trade, because AZUMARILL needs to be relatively high in leveling it up in order to compete and get its full stats in the Great League, you want to have it lucky so that you can power it up a lot cheaper than normally powering it up. So roughly looking at numbers, if you were to power it up just in AZUMARILL, no lucky trade, and you unlocked when it was 50k, you're looking to spend probably upwards of near 300,000 Stardust. But if you do the lucky trade and the 10,000 Stardust unlock, you're looking to spend like 100 to 120 or 150,000 Stardust roughly in there. So that's basically 50% savings right there with a lucky trade and unlocking when it's in its baby form. So definitely do that if you do not have an AZUMARILL. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you guys found it informative. So be sure to smash that like button and let me know down below in the comments what Pokemon you guys are most excited to use in Go Battle League, what's performing well for you. And if you are new to PvP, welcome. It's a ton of fun, and I hope you are having a blast in the Go Battle League. So like always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.